Hey everybody, I finally got a chance to test version 13 of full self-driving. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to clarify that this video and my commentary is not what's known as confirmation bias. If you've seen some of my posts, I was skeptical that version 13 was as amazing and as incredible as everybody is saying it is. I have a lot of respect for everybody that is having amazing zero intervention, zero disengagement drives, and I believe you. I think version 13 is a huge step forward. This serves as my personal experience. It was a short drive, but I think you're going to agree with me on some of the comments that I have during this drive. I don't hide anything, as always, in all of my videos, and I tell you it straight. I'm unbiased, impartial, and I provide the honest truth in these reviews. So let's go ahead and get started.
Generally speaking, I don't have as much fear of missing out as I did previously, I'll have to say. Hey everybody, welcome back to another full self-driving video. Today is extra special. I have Brandon from North Carolina here, one of my longtime viewers. He brought his Model Y with version 13. This is the first time I will be testing version 13, and Brandon hasn't been in a hardware 3 car, so this will be his first time experiencing version 12 in downtown Chicago. We're gonna put it through the ultimate stress test and take it all the way over to the Chicago Theater, to the Trump Tower, to the Nike Chicago. We're gonna be all over Chicago. We're gonna compare them side by side and see how they do. A lot of people who have hardware 3 have gone through all 5 phases of grief. That includes anger, denial, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And I, quite frankly, have not gone completely through the acceptance phase. I think it's very normal and natural for people to feel like their car is still brand new. In fact, I feel like I just got my car yesterday. But the fact of the reality is Tesla has moved on, and we have to really embrace that. New technology is a good thing. Once Tesla solves this with AI4 or AI5, whatever it takes, they will then bring it back to all the previous versions and make us whole. And I'm confident of that. I really think that we will be in for a big surprise here in the future. Now, version 12.6 is due out any day now. In fact, tomorrow is the last day of 2024, and Ashok Elaswamy, the VP of AI software at Tesla, mentioned that that would be coming out to hardware 3 vehicles before the end of the year. So we have a lot to look forward with that, and I think that will be full stack. It will be combining both of them, the highway and the city street stack. Can't wait for that. So Brandon, I know that you have been testing version 13 for a while. What are your overall kind of impressions? What do you think of it?
I mean, I love it. It's really good. I mean, it got me from Charlotte to Jacksonville to Chicago. It's been almost 1,800 miles, I think.
Wow.
I've only had to park or focus on parking and worry about a little bit of rain.
Wow. Now, when you go on daily drives, like to run errands, oh yeah. When you go on, there was a Cybertruck that just drove by. When you go on daily drives for running errands and stuff, do you find yourself using it primarily, or do you still drive manually?
Yeah, for sure. Besides parking, because half the time it'll drop me at the sidewalk, and otherwise, yeah, it gets me from my driveway to wherever I'm going.
Nice. That is a big question for a lot of people. Is it practical? Will I get any utility out of it? How often will I use it? Because a lot of people are wondering, is it worth it to get full self-driving in 2025? And I will say that if you are on the fence and you're not sure whether it's worth it, get the subscription and test it out. See if you feel like it's doing the right things for you. Everything that I've heard is that version 13 is doing a phenomenal job, and that's what I'm excited to test out. Now, I'm going to keep it real and not over-exaggerate my impressions, but there are nuances that I'm being told from the community that are saying that it's a lot better than version 12. So I'm gonna really put it to the test here today with Brandon. And like I said, we're gonna do the same route, compare them side by side. Okay, we're gonna get started here. So I am in my version 12.5.4.2 car right now and we are heading into the city. So I thought initially I would start off by just backing up and then taking off. But I know version 13 can get out of these tight spaces. So just so everybody can see a comparison here, what I'm going to do is put the car into drive. And you can see we're dialed in already for Fairmont. When I turn on FSD, it's going to try to get out of here, but it's not going to be able to move. You can see the steering wheel moving just ever so slightly, but it is stuck. I'm going to take over, put it in reverse, and make sure it has enough space. Once you give it enough space, like right now, it will take off. So let's try it again. Here we go. Give it a second. Just as I say it's gonna take off, it doesn't take off. It will work here, but you do need to encourage it a little bit. Is that the case with version 13?
Sometimes.
Any encouragement?
Yeah.
From takeoff?
Oh,
here it goes. Look at that. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes if you're too close to a curb, it could be like even just like a raised up curb or like these sidewalk curbs.
Oh yeah, okay.
If you're too close, you just need to tap it, give it, tell it it's okay. You'll get object in path notification. But
got it.
Yeah, that's the only other issue I've encountered.
Okay. I'm excited to see how it works going in reverse. So I was commenting earlier about how version 12 still does a phenomenal job. And some people were saying that version 12 is horrible. It's not practical. They can't use it very often because it makes so many mistakes and it's just bad. Like this maybe is what they're referring to. And there we get honked at. So I did have to step on the accelerator there. There was a little bit of hesitation with that stop. It was a 4-way stop. And that person got mixed signal because as you could see, my car started to go and then they started to go thinking I was going to continue going. But then my car freaked out and stopped. So those situations, obviously you do need to be ready to take over. Maybe that's not the case with version 13. We're going to find out.
Yeah, even in a little bit we've done, I've been noticing some differences too.
Are you really? Wow.
Yeah, just hesitation, jerkiness of the wheel.
No kidding.
But yeah, like that 4-way stop, it would have just been like, yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, that was a little bit awkward. Okay, merging. So right now it's still a separate stack on this version. Merging sometimes can be tricky. Left turn signal. Okay, not bad. So what's really funny is that this gets all the way over to the left. Because what'll happen is we have to get all the way over to the left, but not like way over to the left.
Yeah.
It kind of goes overboard with getting over. You'll notice it's going to get all the way over there.
Yeah, I noticed the hurry mode kind of does that. I have an exit by where I live that I just need to go down the next mile, but then
Really?
it gets all the way, or it's probably, I think it's like 2 or 3 miles, but
Yeah.
it gets all the way over and then all the way back, and it's like, you can just stay right here. Like,
Yeah. Well, here, in fairness, it does need to get over one more, because this would force us to go right. But then usually what will happen is it gets over even one more extra.
yeah, I'm so glad I had it coming in though, because I would have been so lost. Like lane selection and everything, I was just like, yeah, I could not do this myself.
Okay, so this is kind of like a prequel to the lower whacker drive. Well, that was weird. It's kind of like, whoa, it's never done that before. Okay, so now upper whacker, it's supposed to go to the right here. And okay, that's fine. All the other times in the past it would go to the right and it said upper whacker, but now it's seemingly saying lower whacker drive. So I don't think FSD has any idea what level it's on, but it's been a long time since FSD landed in this area this early, because there's an entrance from above that comes up a little bit later, and it always misses that entrance.
Oh.
And I was curious to see when we drive your Model Y if it would actually make that entrance. So now I'm really confused because on your car, is it going to take this one or is it going to go straight? I don't know. But it should be the same nav. We'll have to do a comparison of the navigation versions, and just so we can all see what I have in mind. The nav data is whatever that gibberish is. We can take note of that and then compare that to Brandon's Model Y, because that plays into the FSD behaviors as well. You know, what version of the map data are you actually using?
And version 13 also sometimes doesn't always follow navigation either.
Interesting.
Like leaving the hotel, it said make a right, go make a U-turn, but it can make a left turn from the exit of the hotel, so it just went and did that.
Interesting.
So sometimes it follows to the T, sometimes it's, you know, good luck, I do my own thing.
Now you see in front of us we have this ambulance with the flashing lights, and my car has no clue what's going on. Have you witnessed any recognition of emergency vehicles in version 13?
No, not really. I've passed a few, but no recognition of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, see the videos too about it stopping or not moving when there's an emergency vehicle coming.
Every so often, yeah. Every so often I see a video, and that's why I asked. I wasn't sure if
But it's always dash cam footage too, not interior camera. So you don't know if they're just spitting garbage or... Because anybody can do something and be like, oh, FSD did it. But
True. They filmed Blues Brothers down here. They filmed Batman down here. They've done a lot of Hollywood films in this corridor right here. That was interesting. It chose the middle lane and then corrected itself to go back into the right. A little bit confusing there. I've tested this area many, many times. I'd say probably 20 times, and it's gotten it right maybe 8 out of those 20 times. It's not that often that it gets this. So let's see what happens here. No. Okay. It missed it. But sometimes, like I said, it will actually get this path because we need to go up here. As you can see, there's some fog out today, and you just can't see that far, which is a shame because Brandon is not in Chicago very often. Here it's a green arrow, and I think it sees this pedestrian here. Nobody behind us, so I'm willing to wait here a little bit. I'm not sure why it's hesitating so much. So this, I feel like version 13 would probably wouldn't do this. No. Okay, now someone's coming. Oh, well, it's a red light now.
And no turn on red.
And no turn on red.
Which I have 13 still.
Good observation. Oh, okay, it doesn't read those signs?
Not that I've encountered.
Got it. Okay, there I can feel the car moving forward a little bit. Feels very natural when it does that, even though it's blocked with all the pedestrians. And then proceeding here. So this is a very central area of Chicago. We have, oh, why is it stopping here? Maybe because of the crosswalk there. We have the Millennium Park over there to the left, the Buckingham Fountains right over there. This is Michigan Avenue. We have a lot of really nice luxury stores. People go shopping here, obviously. And then you had the financial district a little bit further west. Right behind us is Lake Michigan. All right, creeping forward. So I'm so used to version 12 that this is all normal for me. So I'm not really commenting so much on its acceleration, its deceleration, but I should clarify that in the autopilot settings, I do have the assertive mode selected. I did a test previously and never actually posted it, where I tested down here this exact same route in the average profile, and it was less impressive, let's just put it that way. It couldn't get through the areas as accurately or as smoothly as it can with the assertive mode selected. Okay, green arrow. Great, going forward there. There was some hesitation there at that intersection, and that's a known issue right now with this version of FSD, where it will slow down even though it's a green light. And it's signaling that it's going to get over to the right. I'm glad it did not do that, because that bus stops very frequently, and I've had situations where it's gotten stuck behind buses. Like, how many people know that the cars can do all this?
Right.
Now here it might get stuck. So sometimes in these situations, like, we have enough of a gap in front of us that if there is some clearance with the left lane and there's no cars coming, it will actually go around quickly. But this lane is very challenging to be in, because you have the buses stopping very frequently. We have one right in front of us as well. But it's logical why it's in this lane, because the Nike Chicago is up on the right. Let's see if it tries to go around this bus. I will be impressed if it does. It's trying to. All right. Nice. And then right then the bus goes. What I'm going to do is add this here real quick. So it's on a different level. So normally at the upper level is where Michigan Avenue, it would take Michigan Avenue back and then loop around here. Normally it would come up here and then go to the hotel. So I've confused it, and now it's trying to go, you can see it's wanting to go to the right, but the left turn signal thankfully is on and it's doing the right thing. But it's not matching what the maps are saying. So it's going left here, which is fine. But again, see, that Michigan Avenue is right above. That's where we normally would be. And somehow it ended up in these lower levels. So it's going to try to get to the International Tower, but it's going to be on the wrong level. So I'm very curious to see how it actually lands there, because it needs to get back up again. Let's find out.
Oh, that was an interesting message. It said stop for traffic control. Yeah.
Oh yeah, wow. Let's see if it actually goes. It says use accelerator or gear stalk to continue. I haven't seen that one in a long time. Yeah, that's like a remnant from version 11, I think. So normally, being on the upper level, this is exactly where we would want to go, is we'd turn right here. It thinks, the GPS thinks that we are on the upper level. It's going to find out really quickly here that it can't get there.
That's quite the route it took.
Yeah, this is funny. Let's see what happens here. I think we can go right here, but I think, or no, you can't.
No, right.
Yeah, so we have to cancel out of it for that.
It was going quick enough. It felt like it may have skipped that right turn, but
Yeah.
Knowing it doesn't read signs, who knows what it would have done.
Right. So from here, because of all the confusion with the route and just the chaos with the switching up the waypoints, we're just going to head on back and test out version 13 from here.
Yeah, I noticed the braking's a little bit harsher on this version.
Oh yeah, okay, wow.
Some of the caution and
A little bit
jittery.
slower to respond, you feel?
Right, yeah.
Almost went through that. Almost went through that red light there. But it's a weird red arrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, we are on our way back to test out version 13 and Brandon's car. Really excited for this. We're gonna hopefully see a big difference between the performance here. We had a little bit of confusion with the nav, so because of that, we just abandoned our initial plans. We were gonna stop by the Trump Tower and then the Chicago Theater to finish out that drive, but we'll hopefully be able to do that here with Brandon's Model Y. We are here in Brandon's Model Y. This is my first time trying version 13. We purposefully planted the car so it's difficult to get out of this spot. We are actually in a fire hydrant zone right now, so we need to scoot out of here as quickly as possible. But before we do, let's dive into the settings here real quick. If I go into the menu, into the autopilot area, you can see full self-driving is not enabled, and that's because this is a new profile that Brandon created for me. So let's go ahead and turn that on. It's going to ask us, do we want to enable it? We say yes again. Now this is new. Here we are with the speed profiles: chill, standard, hurry. We get all of our options, and then also the max speed offset is right down here as a slider on the bottom. I love that. We're going to set hurry. I think that's most appropriate for Chicago driving, and we're going to confirm, and we'll just leave it at the 40% default. We have the expanded full screen visualizations. That's fine. Actually, Smart Summon is there already. We won't have time to test that here today, and everything else looks pretty standard. I don't think we need to make any changes there.
Enable from park.
Ooh, Brandon caught a really good slider, a little option here. It's for starting FSD supervised from park. So that I did not know is an actual thing you have to turn on. And it's just saying here, when enabled, a button will appear on the map once the driver is buckled and the driver requirements are met. I believe that's a button on the screen, right?
Right.
Okay, great. We're just gonna say yes. Oh, brake to confirm. That's what it was just about to explain to us here. So you have to hit the brake to confirm, but it looks like you can turn that off. The other thing I wanted to check is the maps data. So we're going to go into the software. Okay, so it looks like it's staying on. It's just waiting here indefinitely until I hit the brake pedal. So you have to hold down the brake pedal. Is that right?
Should be just a tap. Okay, looks like it did cancel out.
Oh, it canceled out of it. Okay.
Signal stayed on.
There we go. I have to hold it down again. And interesting, because previously there the turn signal turned on, and it turned off and then back on again. And there it blinked, and yeah, it looks like it does cancel out. So now I have to hold it down. So after a while, it times out. Let's hold it down again. There we go, and press brake to confirm. Just once.
Yep, just tap.
Okay. Going in reverse. This is exciting. Nice. Nobody around us. Hesitated there a little bit coming out of that spot, but not bad. Turning left here. And thankfully, no awkwardness. We didn't have anybody there. Moving into the other lane. Let's see on the highway. I think I've heard a lot of feedback about how the highway operates very noticeably different. Okay, I'm noticing the steering wheel is quite a bit smoother. Left turn signal goes on immediately. Looking around here, thankfully nobody in the lane. Nice. Great transition there. And making another lane change. Very smooth. Beautiful, and simultaneously making the next one. That felt really great. And here we go. This is what it should have done. It usually does in my Model 3 as well, is gets all the way over. Okay, making its way over. Really nice lane transition. And making the next one. Beautiful. Let's see what it does here. Okay,
Cool.
this is, it's saying same as what mine did. It's saying upper whacker drive. But previously mine was like hugging the left. Let's see what it does here. Okay, it went to the right. This is what it normally does for me when I'm driving. Now, why in the world is it going over here? This is not right. It needs to go straight.
Oh, it'll go straight.
Okay, okay.
It may not be right, but it'll go straight. I got out-of-state tags. It's okay.
Nobody saw that left turn lane. Okay, that was natural. That felt very natural. Okay, this is the true test here. After this intersection, it needs to get all the way over to the left. I will be very, very surprised if version 13 can pull this off. I will be very surprised. And I don't think this has to do with version 13. It has to do with the map data. It needs to go left, right here, right here, right here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No, 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 no. Left, left, left. No, go. Okay. Yeah, so same as version 12. But again, I can't blame the version. This has to do with crazy Chicago. I mean, no other city has an entrance here in the middle of the road to go down. It's just the weirdest thing.
Brandon came back later in the evening to test this again, and it got in the left turn lane to go straight. But then, for the very first time ever, and I've never witnessed this, again, I've driven 20 times or more down here, it actually got over to go down to lower Whacker Drive. Check it out.
Oh. Interesting. And it makes sense it would, because the navigation is right there. That's a red light that is not stopping for. Was not stopping for red light.
But the one downside was that it actually was about to run the red light. So let's just replay this really quickly. I believe it's seeing the green light, which is above on the upper level, and interpreting that as a go signal.
So I probably should have provided some voice feedback there, but it's got to learn that. I keep providing the feedback, and I'm hopeful that eventually it will figure that out. But again, that's not, that's the challenge in these types of cities, is the maps aren't 3D. You don't have like these different levels of maps. So it needs to learn through training. You have to basically tell it where it goes wrong and where it goes right. And the only way to tell it when it goes right is to just not report anything, right? And those are the situations that it really needs to, over time, get acclimated to. So let's see what happens down here. I am fully expecting we will lose GPS connectivity. And it's probably going to happen right at this light up here. So let's keep our eyes on the screen for a GPS message. There it is, poor GPS location accuracy. All right, coming up here, this is going to be the challenge. Is it going to be able to go up to get over to that hotel? That is the big question. It's a very tricky one. And again, a lot of this has to do with the maps. Once we get out of these unusual areas like Lower Whacker Drive and some of these edge case, well, I don't know if I'd necessarily call them edge cases, but unusual driving areas, then we can really do the comparison. And that's when we get on Michigan Avenue. That's when we get over to Trump International Tower and the Chicago Theater.
It takes turns a lot quicker.
Yeah, it seems like the turns are more confident. Okay, this is the true test here. Let's see what happens. Need to go up in that middle area there. And it's going all the way over there. Let's take over there. Save ourselves some trouble. It is interesting, I'll say, when you let it actually go there, because you end up in the middle of nowhere.
I wonder if it would start reversing because it'd be near the point, and it would.
Oh, maybe. I probably should have let it go.
If you feel confident in your battery, we can go back and loop back around.
Let's do it. Cool. Okay, here we go again.
Be a trip if it did it right this time and just went up.
That would be awesome if it learned. It was like, hey, now I get it. Now this is where it can get really lost. If you go down, that's actually the sub-lower is all the way down there. So this is, again, like one of those level things. Yeah. So it thinks it's right up here on the right, which it kind of is, but you know, it's not really a drop-off zone and you can't park anywhere. It's like a loading, maybe a loading zone, or for emergency vehicles, not typically an entrance for the hotel. And we just passed the pin. So it's telling us it's going to go right. The nav just kind of recorrected itself. And I think it's safe to say that it's completely lost right now. And we're coming down into this. I mean, here's a motor entrance. I mean, technically this is an entrance, right?
Yeah.
So it's pulling over. It's saying, hey, we're here. Interesting. Okay, it actually stopped. Look at that. That's new. So when version 13 arrives, it actually puts it in park and stops completely. That is cool.
And the visibility. I think that came with the holiday update, though.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Do you think we should clean the cameras?
Oh, that's just a...
Oh, that's the front one.
Oh,
wow. Crazy.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
I've never seen that before. Yeah, that looked really blurry for some reason. Okay. The windshield wipers wouldn't clean that, you don't think?
It might. Sure.
Strange.
Interesting.
All right, let's delete that out of there and see if it can make its way over to the next... Oh, it already did. Okay, so that's cool. That's new too. So once it arrives, it deletes that waypoint. Now it's saying, okay, we're ready to go to the next one.
You want to do your button?
So yeah, this is all new to me. This is... Okay, so with version 13, I press and hold this button. And then if the toggle for brake is there, you have to press the brake, release it really quick, and then it just takes off. See someone coming up right behind us. It's aware of them and now taking off. And we are down on Lower Wacker Drive. And the map data is all turned around. So not sure how it's going to get itself out of here, but that takeoff experience is new and very interesting to me. Okay, we're back on track. Let's go ahead and turn it back on again. There we go. Hands off, and we are rolling here. It's a green light. These pedestrians can go, but our car is fast enough that we are proceeding forward here. And now coming up to Michigan Avenue, this is the intersection that's always very dynamic, a lot of variety, tons of people in this area. And version 12 has done really well in this area. And I'm curious to see if version 13 can do even better, if I notice any small differences. But this is one of those areas that I'm on high alert to really observe here. So getting over to the right, needs to make its way over. Oh, it intelligently saw that car and waited to go around them. That was nice. Squeezing through here, beautiful. And now look at all these people. This is great. Let's see what happens. Nicely done. Great. I feel it's taking extra caution. It's 30 here, and if I was driving manually, I'd be going a little bit faster. Now, there's nothing that's preventing me from pressing on the accelerator to tell it to go a little bit faster, but we're not in any rush at the moment. Got traffic backed up here. We have an arrow pointing to the left. Looks like all those people are going to the right. So we are in the correct lane and proceeding very cautiously. I feel like it's nervous or something. It's leaving a big gap in front of us. And this begs the question, is there like a follow distance setting? Probably not, right?
No, not that I think that just goes based on your assertive or your hurry, chill standard.
Okay. So if I, on the older version...
The profile is actually off now, so maybe, I don't know when it turned off, but maybe that had an effect on it.
So if I push to the right scroll wheel, does that allow me to select? Oh, no, it doesn't. Let's just check in here real quick. It is still in hurry. It all feels very natural. It doesn't feel like it's not making me anxious. I feel very comfortable using this. Turn signals on. This bus is changing lanes at the same time that we're changing. Well, they're kind of, maybe they weren't changing lanes, but made me a little bit nervous. I promise I won't get your car in a crash.
It's all good.
Even though FSD is driving, I'm technically driving here. Okay, right turn signal is on, and our final destination is coming up here. And then, if you don't mind, Brandon, getting rid of that waypoint. Great, okay, it's going to go through here. Some hesitation with that person there, but that was very well done. I noticed it was very quick to respond to that lady coming out into the road there briefly. And we were at the same time changing the waypoint. So a little bit of chaos there, but now we're on track here and turning right. And let's see now if it's taking the same route that the map data was telling us to go previously. That's what I'm curious to find out. And I can tell there's some glare on the windshield. So here it's interesting. It's asking me to take over. That's what I'm curious to find out. And I can tell there's some glare on the windshield. So here it's interesting. It's asking me to take over.
And it kind of started to pull over too.
And it did start to almost pull over a little bit. And that was due to the glare on the windshield. So that's to be expected. That happens with version 12 as well. I'm just going to apply a little bit of windshield wiper fluid. Later that evening, I took a really close look. Nothing else was done. We didn't wipe it any further than what we just did now with the windshield wipers, but you can see the glass is very, very clear. There really is no issue, and there's no off-gassing that's happening in between the glass and the cameras. See if I can clear that off a little bit. And then right here, I'm going to turn it back on again. Okay, moving forward here, and it was clear there were no people there in the intersection, so it made the move really nicely. And going forward, we have two intersections before we're turning left onto Wabash Avenue. It responded to those really nicely. Coming through here, okay, it's pulling over. This is not what I would do. Let's see if it aborts here, because we've got a truck parked in the left lane. This is going to be fascinating because it needs to go left here, but this truck is blocking us. Let's see what happens here. This is actually exactly what I would do. Is it what you would do, Brandon?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have to turn left. Normally, you'd be in that far left lane, but that lane was blocked. Now, there's some sunlight coming through here. We might get the camera blinded message again. Let's see. Hopeful that we don't. Okay, good. Coming forward. Feels very natural, feels very good, very smooth. And here is the Trump International Hotel and Tower, basically arriving here, but it's wanting to bring us around all the way to arrive, or maybe it's not. Let's see if it's probably going to say, hey, we're here. I think so. I think it's probably going to say, hey, we're here. Because this is the pin, right?
Oh,
Going in reverse. Let's see what it does here. Great, it went around. So previously when I was using the average setting, the video I did not publish, it got stuck here for a really long time. It seems that version 13 has some sort of patience level, a threshold where it's like, you know what, we're not moving, we're gonna try something else, that's a great sign. And what it's gonna do here, it looks like, is just circle around. And I don't know if it's gonna do this because it has to do a U-turn, it looks like, up here. And that is debatable because I don't know if you can do a U-turn up at this spot. We're gonna find out. And then the Chicago Theater, Brandon is new to Chicago, but that's straightforward here. We just go a little ways and then we're at the theater. So we're pretty much at the end of our route. We don't necessarily need to go to the Chicago Theater since it's fairly straightforward from this point. So let's just see if it can wrap around and finish here at the Trump Tower, and then we'll close out the video. But overall, I would say that this is performing really, really well. It's smoother. However, based on this drive, I can't really make a firm conclusion about it being 2, 5, 10 times better than version 12.542. It's just, it's the steering wheel, as Brandon mentioned, is a lot smoother, and I agree. But it's decision making, what it can see, what it can't see, all of this feels very similar. And I believe that's because it's leveraging a lot of the same weights and parameters. So this is the real test. Let's see if it can do this U-turn. I don't know. This is going to be tricky. I don't even know if you can do a U-turn here. I don't see any signs. It doesn't say you can't. So the only question is like if there's other traffic. Because when this light turns green, the cars... Oh, no, it's now it's a green arrow. What it's... Okay. Nice. Look at that. It's pulling it off. This is totally like a city driver mode.
Maybe knock over some pigeons.
Yeah. Like... Tell me a taxi cab wouldn't do that. You know, that's totally like a taxi cab move down here. Well, I really appreciate you, Brandon, for being so trusting of me driving your pretty much brand new Model Y. This is a 2024 Model Y. So I'm extremely delighted to have had this opportunity. Generally speaking, I don't have as much fear of missing out as I did previously, I'll have to say. I think a lot of the people that are posting videos about version 13 are overemphasizing how great it is. Just know, for all of you Hardware 3 folks, that, oh, look at this, it's getting over really nicely here to finish the trip, that Hardware 3 is also really, really great. Be proud of what you have. Don't lose hope in Hardware 3. I think Tesla will take care of us in the future. And you don't need to feel like you have to go out and buy a new car. Because based on this small trip, again, it probably wasn't long enough, but based on this small trip, I don't feel like I need to rush out to go get Hardware 4 right away. It's behaving very similarly in a lot of ways to what I had, but this, man, the stopping, the destination.
Yeah, so it had that car coming up behind us.
Oh yeah, do you think it was responding to them?
I almost feel like it was, because it did say object and path, and then it
I
doing
missed
some
that.
other stuff.
Oh, that's so cool. It saw it. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the end of the trip and the beginning of the trip, that is what's so nice. It just gives that extra polish. And I think that's really what's adding to this whole experience of using the software. And that's why Tesla's rolling out free trials again. They really want people to experience this takeoff thing. And I really do believe that we will be getting this for Hardware 3. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. Thanks so much for tuning in. And a big thanks to Brandon again for allowing me to drive his Tesla. And we'll see you guys in the next one.